Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
If you love mythology, then you may the story of Sisyphus. In Greek mythology, Sisyphus was doomed to roll a boulder up a mountain every day and watch it roll down every night forever. Now, the only way Sisyphus could do that was if he realized that the task might be difficult or even pointless, but he still carried on. Now, sometimes in the face of apparently insurmountable obstacles, we need to look at life square in the face, accept the challenge, and refuse to give up. Hello and welcome everybody to Mojo Story, where today I bring you the tale of a Sisyphean battle. If you are a regular on Facebook or Twitter, by now you may know Rajat Sambyal from Jammu and Kashmir. Over the last few days, in the news media, we have had hundreds of stories of UPSC heroes. But Rajat Sambyal's story is different from them because he is not one of them. He failed to crack the UPSC interview, but yet he is a hero. Day before yesterday, that is a day after the UPSC results were out, around 9:15 a.m., he took to Twitter to express his state of mind. He wrote, 10 years of hard work ended in ashes, 6 UPSC attempts over, 3 times prelims failed, 2 times mains failed. In my last attempt yesterday, I succumbed due to low score in interview, missed by 11 marks, #UPSC result. And then he quotes the American poet Maya Angelou's famous line, "And still I rise." In the last 50 hours or so, the tweet has gone viral. 3,150 people have replied to it, 38,000 people have liked it, and there have been over 5,000 retweets. Today we shall speak to Rajat Sambyal from Jammu on what kept him going for a decade, what drives him to say that he will not be bogged down by his failure and rise again, and what he thinks about the society's obsession with UPSC careers. Here we have Rajat from Samba in Jammu. Welcome, Rajat, to the show.
It's my pleasure to be on your show, sir.
Right. Can we just start with hearing your story? Briefly, when you started, with what vision you started, and what kept you going for so many years? Over to you.
Sir, I went to my college, Punjab Engineering College. There I went to do the civil engineering. There were a group of people who were encouraged and excited to do the good for the society and for the civil services, and they have their aim to work for the civil services. I got in a group of such friends, and one I would like to name here also, the Sarfraz Singh. He encouraged me. We used to study the concepts together. We used to study new theories together, and the syllabus of UPSC is such wide and such encouraging that it enhances your personality. And being a enthusiastic learner, it always encouraged me to learn new and new every day and to improve. Beside my civil engineering. So this was just the beginning, and then we went for the civil services. I passed out in 2015 only, and I gave the attempt in that year only. I cleared the prelims, and I missed mains by around 7 to 8 marks. So that was the time that gave me the confidence in life that this process, I am getting attuned to it. I love reading and I love writing, and this is enhancing my personality, and I should pursue it wholeheartedly more. So next few attempts, in the next 3 attempts, I couldn't clear the prelims. That was in 2018. It was the shallowest point, I would say. I won't say that right now it's the shallowest point. That point I felt quite bogged down, mentally strained, that was the time which was the most important and the most crucial, that whether I should give up on this thing, or I should go again for it. I had a thought with my talks with my friends, my teachers, my family, and small successes, and seeing the results, seeing the mark sheets which I was getting, I was always at the edges. So, and by the grace of God, I got one CAPF interview chance, and in that,
Very close.
yes, sir. And in that also CAPF interview, I got out by 6 marks. So I was just like that. UPSC encouraged me in that personality test. Also, I got very good score at that time. So I went again to my room. I jotted all the issues which were in my prelim stage or main stage. I worked over those, and the next time next both times I cleared the prelims. Last time I got out in mains due to my poor score in essay, and this time due to my poor score in interview. So I kept on improving, and the improvement on the daily basis has always encouraged me to push my limits and to go beyond it. And the day the result comes, I would say that I have worked for the last 6 months. I was like that I'm totally getting into it. So I took all my decision keeping in view that I
Okay,
am.
so before going into the last 6 months, let me try to understand. Uh, the Indian Police Service was your desired, your target career, right? So why is that so? Why not the Indian Administrative Service or the Indian Foreign Service, which are considered more lucrative by some? Why Indian Police Service?
Sir, I have been brought up in an area. My district is Samba district, and the many knows that from this district, many gallantry awards are being given to the armed forces and the police services. So this was a natural inclination, seeing the fellow men and seeing the seniors and seeing my grandfathers doing it for the nation and for the forces. I had a natural inclination towards it. Moreover, being brought in a state where the police plays a very crucial role to respond at the time of crisis, to being the first responders in any calamity or protecting our borders. I've always got encouraged to work for the country and to work for the forces. So this was one of the reasons
that's an interesting point that you raise. You come from Jammu and Kashmir, and I think I can say that the impression of the men in uniform in that part of the country is not always very positive, right? But you say that seeing men in uniform all around you from an early age encouraged you to pursue this career, right? So what is your take on that? Would you agree that in your part of the country, the impression of the men in uniform, the armed forces, is not always very positive in the collective consciousness?
Yes, sir. I would like to agree with you that there are instances where certain fake encounters or human right violations have taken place. But I would say that in any field, there are certain people who brought shame to the system, to that system, but they get addressed, they get punished for their sins, and we shouldn't see the only the bad side or minute bad side which is prevailing. We should look at the larger picture, that they are serving their best and they are being committed to do the best for the J&K UT and for the country.
Right. So your point is that there may be aberrations, exceptions, but overall you are seen from an early age, the men in uniform protecting the border, protecting the country and its people, right? So the next thing that I would like to know is 10 years, right? I mean, people are not the same in a gap of 10 years. What you were 10 years ago, you're not the same person, right? Hardly anything remains the same in a gap of 10 years in an individual's life. But this is something that you have stuck to for a decade, right? You are not the same person 10 years back. So what made you stick to this? I mean, was it the prestige that comes with the job? Was it the power that an administrative officer wields? What is it? Was it the expectations of your family? What made you stick to this single idea for 10 years?
I would like to say that in the process, I got to know the variety, the volume, the impact this service can have on the masses, and the best you can do for the country and their masses in one format, and I was comfortable with this format, though there are many formats in which you can do the same. But this getting into one format is also for some few people to do. So this led me towards it, and the commitment came from the small successes, from the determination, from the passion to do for the country, and the spirit of nationalism which prevails in our country and it prevails in me too. So that led me to be consistent towards it and do it, fight it till the very end. I have read about
Was your family supportive of this? For 10 years you pursue one thing single-mindedly, right? You're not saying that your family expected you to go into this service, but were they supportive throughout?
Yes, sir. They have the support on me, but at times they do also feel that whether he's being seeing me externally, they are concerned about my life, and they see that you should try for something else. They also encourage you towards some other things. But I would say any action taken by any person in this world depends upon your own conscious and your own self. At the end, you take your own decision, whether you put it on someone else at the end or not. So it was my decision, and my family supported me. That's why I gave the attempts with utmost professionalism I could, and I have this thing was always there with me.
Right. So what happened on the day of the result, right? I mean, were you expecting to clear it? Were you sure that you would clear it? Did you have your doubts? What was it like?
Sir, I would say that to be honest, I was around 100% sure that I would be getting through it, because the way I had my mains and the way I had my interview, I was almost sure. So I had taken all the decisions in the past 6 months based on the surety that I will be sailing through. On the very
What kind
day,
of decisions? What kind of decisions?
that I was having my state service means, I skipped it. I was having
Okay.
few other opportunities, I skipped all those, and totally committed towards this exam only, and towards the end. And at the end also, I was very optimistic. The day the result comes, I had made one post, and I had all collected all photos. What one tweet I wanted to add when I get selected.
So you had even thought about what you would tweet
yes, sir.
after
I
you
had
get
made
selected.
one. Yes, sir. Surely,
Right.
yes. I had made one. But the time the result comes, I gave the phone to my mom to check my name. She checked and it wasn't there. So it was a numbness which came for certain amount of time. But there is a technical thing that there is a reserve list which do comes afterwards, and if you are on the margins of the score, you will get into the reserve list. So I was optimistic that if I get through it, maybe I will get into DANIPS, and I will serve via that channel. But in the evening, the public disclosure of scores took place, and in my score, I got out by 11 marks, and there are very minute chances that I will be getting into the reserve list. So that was the real time when it was to me that I am not now into this, and this process is over, and I have succumbed to it. So,
So 10 years, just intervening, 10 years you have done one thing single-mindedly, and this is the moment when you come to know that all that, as you have written in your tweet, has gone to ashes, right? But then you have also said that I will rise again. So from everything has gone to the ashes to I will rise again is a journey, right? I mean, how did you take that journey? What drove you to go on that journey? 99 out of 100 people would have tweeted just the bit without I will rise again, that part. But you have said I'll rise again. That is why you are a hero in our view, in my view, right? So what took you from everything to the ashes to I will rise again? I'm particularly interested to know that part. Is it your self-belief? Is it somebody, your friend or a family member who, counseled you? Is it a teacher? Is it some great man's ideas? What is it?
Sir, this is the thing that has astonished me also, but it's a natural thing which I wrote. It was nothing that I wrote it due to some other angle or what. But firstly, that the sense of attainment that I have given my 100% to the process, and whatever I could have done, I have done, and that is a self of
Right.
accomplishment in my own self. That
That is a great
uh,
satisfaction. Right.
yes, sir, and that was put
That
it
I
into
have
the
done my
first line.
best.
Yes, sir. And that was put it into the first line. Then I accepted the result that it is a reality. I have to accept it, whether I accept it today, tomorrow, or after 10 years. I have to accept it. I have to just absorb it and grow after it. If something happens, you have to move on from it. So I accepted that now I have to move on. I called one friend of mine, and she counseled me about what all opportunities I have, and what if the one door has closed, now you have 100 of doors to open. You have a clean slate, and you can build whatever you want to build upon. These years have given you the values. These years have given you the courage, the determination, many things these years have given you. You have to just go towards certain new things, and it is a new life, and you just start a new beginning with a fresh mind. So I look. There are many scholars which I read on, just like Stephen Curry, like the stories of Zorawar Singh, the Edison, and they also have failed at many times, and then they grow up. So with that vision, I slept in the morning. I wake up. This tweet was just because I have always thought that I will put one tweet. I tweeted one my story that for my family members. I was just having 19 followers at that time. I put up a story for my close ones that this is my thing, and I won't stop here. I would build one idea. Likewise, I built one idea in 2012. Now this is 2022. I will build one idea. I will work over it, and I will try my level best with more precision and with more with plugging more the loopholes which might have remained in the process. And so with this, I tweeted, and all of a sudden it got viral, and now it's
So what
being.
what what will be your advice to aspiring UPSC officers and particularly their family members? Do you believe that there is an obsession with this exam in the society, an obsession which borders on unhealthy, on being unhealthy, right? Is there life beyond UPSC failure, right? You are a living example of that. What you have said over the last 15 minutes or so are examples to follow for all of them. But still, specifically, do you have an advice for future UPSC aspirants?
Yes, sir. I would like to say that take it as a passion. If you have passion to serve via this medium, then only comes. There are many other mediums by which you can get the process to serve the country. And I see on on Instagram, and right now myself also I have got sensationalized, and people might take it that we also want to get sensationalized in this way. But I would never ever promote this thing that anyone follows this for just this purpose. I honestly speaking, I never wanted to get sensationalized. I never worked for it. I got sensationalized. Now it's my responsibility to respond to people in a positive way. A circle of positivity, if has generated, I want to just expand it. And if you want to serve, if it's your passion, you like reading, because in this you have to read a lot, you have to write a lot, you have to communicate well. If these are the areas you want to work upon, improve upon, and attain, and at the end you want to serve the masses and the job, the for example you want to get into foreign service, police service, administration service, or whatever. So in that is your goal. If these are the mediums you want to serve through, you should always go for it. But if there are other motives, you are getting pressurized from some social angles, then you should I wouldn't say that anytime you should go for it. Moreover, I would say that if someone asks me that what are the other arenas you look towards, I would say that there are startups coming up. There are data analysts. There are think tanks which work upon. Then there are many public policy making. Then there are many
Right.
other arenas.
So to summarize, because we are running out of time, you are saying that your advice to future UPSC aspirants would be, come to this, pursue this only if you are keen to serve this country and its people. It's don't come if it's for prestige, if it's for peer pressure, if it's for family pressure. You can continue this process, which is it is one of the toughest exams in the country, if not the toughest. So there is no doubt about it. So your advice would be to pursue this only if they are very keen to serve this country and not for any other reason, right? Thank you, Rajat. We have very short time, so that's great. It was great hearing from you. Yeah, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. One thing I would like to add, from all the from taking it all from the interview dropouts, I would just request that there is my request to the government that they have a scheme in which they do the public disclosure of the source of the people who have got dropped out, and they have tried to link it with the corporate sector and the other PSUs. So I would just say that it should be promoted more. It should be given a more impetus, though they are doing, but it's a genuine thing that via this process you can stop the brain drain. You can work to stop a bit of the brain drain, which is very much in news also. So this is my last thing, that being from all the interview dropouts, I would like to add this.
Right. So your request to the government is that there is a mechanism where the government, absorbs those who cannot crack the interview into other public sector units, other services, and that scheme should be implemented properly for the likes of you, right? That's your request for the government. Thank you so much, Rajat. So it was nice. It was a great hearing from you. For the viewers, here you have an example to follow. Every ending is a new beginning, as Rajat said. For 10 years, he gave his everything to a cause, and when it didn't materialize, he is ready to move on and discover territories that are still unknown to him, right? So we began with a mythological story. We can end with another one that we all know. As he puts in his tweet, 10 years of hard work has ended in ashes, but from those ashes, he will rise, phoenix-like. The lesson from Rajat's story is not in the result, but in the fact that he aspired and still continues to do so. Thank you, viewers. That's all for this time.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.